Your forecast first, sponsored by Stanley Steamer.
It's cooling down fast on this Thanksgiving. Check out the Bentonville Town Square. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. It was pretty cold earlier, and right now we're below freezing for a lot of the area. Fayetteville already at 28 degrees. Bentonville is at 30. Harrison 29, Clarksville is at 28. That's cold. High pressure in control for us. That will give us some quiet weather tonight. There is some rain off to our south that will stay south of us. So again, tonight, most areas in the 20s for those lows. Tomorrow it will stay in the 40s, but there will be a warm-up coming later on during the week. Will there be any rain? I'll tell you more. But first, your news starts right now.
Proudly covering the Northwest Arkansas community. This is KNWA News at 10.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, from all of us here at KNWA, and thank you for sticking with us after the game. I'm Casey Smith. Doug and Sonia are off tonight. One local dance team found themselves front and center this morning as they took the national stage in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City. KNWA's Gabriella Phelan talked with the team after they wrapped up their performance this morning.
For 12 Fort Smith Southside High School seniors, Thanksgiving looked a little different Thursday morning.
There was just so many lights and cameras that we were just so excited about performing.
It all started the week before Thanksgiving when the school's dance team, the Southern Bells, packed their bags and caught a flight to New York City.
We flew in last Saturday, and then we're staying until this Saturday. So we have a nice long week in New York City just to have fun and explore.
And instead of waking up to watch the annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, the team woke up, put on their dancing shoes, and made their way to perform in the parade.
Well, we're in New York City for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and we actually just finished walking in the parade. We walked about 50 blocks in the parade, and it was pouring down rain, and it was about 40 degrees with wind, so it was really, really, really cold. But we had a really fantastic time, and we just are so excited to be here.
Team Captain Lily Norman says it's a tradition that all of the team's seniors have the chance to participate in, but they really had to put in the hours to make it happen.
So we practiced during Tuesday, Thursday, 4 to 6, and then once we got here, we had practice on Saturday from 7 to 11 p.m., and then Sunday all day, and then we had practice for NBC on Monday night, and then we also had practice yesterday on Wednesday for dress rehearsals.
They say the trip is an opportunity to bond and make memories, but getting to take their skill to a national stage is something they'll never forget.
We just made it about 30 minutes to go running in the rain in the subway. So there's just little things like that, and then grabbing onto each other and making sure we get through the streets, and then just waving at all the people in the crowd. Stuff like that you'll never forget. And so it was really, really fun. We were just so excited about performing that we didn't even think twice about that we were on national television.
And of course, they have some big plans for the rest of their time in the Big Apple.
So after today, we get to do whatever we want to do, go to any restaurants, go shopping, spend time with our family, friends, just kind of do whatever we want.
What an opportunity there for the Southern Bells at such a young age. Thank you, Gabrielle, for bringing us that awesome story, and congrats to everyone from our area who participated in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. That included 2 members of the Bentonville West Marching Band who were also in attendance. That was Anthony Castaldi and Matthew Lewis, as well as students from Lake Hamilton High School band near Hot Springs and a student from Jonesboro High School. They were also in the parade. What an awesome opportunity for them. And it's getting colder, so it's time to keep the 4 P's in mind. That's protect your pets, people, plants, and pipes. Remember, when it's cold out, animals can take shelter in the hood of your car. So maybe if you want to bang on your hood before starting your engine, maybe that'll get them out of there. If you're cold, your pet probably is as well. And be sure that they have a place to stay that's warm and dry. And be sure to prepare for any potential power outages by having a flashlight on hand, having plenty of blankets, and checking in on anyone who could be vulnerable to the cold. Then be sure to cover your plants and know its temperature thresholds. As for your pipes, plumbing experts say to drip your faucets and keep your sink cabinets open to expose those pipes to heated air to keep them from freezing. Disconnect any hoses not in use, and be sure to turn off your sprinklers as well. Well, the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth Rock and celebrated the first unofficial Thanksgiving feast more than 400 years ago. And our Mike Lowe takes a look at the history of the holiday and its establishment into what we now know as Thanksgiving.
Long after the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth Rock in 1621 and celebrated a successful harvest with a 3-day gathering that became the first Thanksgiving, It was the first president of the United States, George Washington, who declared November 26, 1789, a day of public Thanksgiving.
Well, a lot of people trace the origins of the celebration of Thanksgiving in the United States back to the Pilgrims and Plymouth in the 17th century. Our kind of contemporary understanding of it really has to do more with these proclamations that were made by various presidents.
Chicago History Museum Director of Exhibitions, Paul DeRica, says the holiday was observed on and off for years. President James Madison proclaimed a Thanksgiving Day in 1814 and 1815.
Thanksgiving as a national holiday really kind of takes shape and then becomes part of American culture in the 1860s.
But it wasn't until October 3rd of 1863, in the midst of the Civil War, that President Abraham Lincoln made what is now regarded as the Thanksgiving Proclamation. He wrote, "The year that is drawing to a close has been filled with the blessings of fruitful fields and healthful skies." He called the nation's people and its prosperity, quote, "gracious gifts," and said, "It has seemed to me fit and proper that they should be gratefully acknowledged. I do, therefore, invite my fellow citizens in every part of the United States to set apart and observe that last Thursday of November next as a day of Thanksgiving." Lincoln's proclamation took effect just 1 week after his most famous speech, the Gettysburg Address.
Even though the United States is in the midst of this great Civil War, and there are all of these challenges that the nation is facing, there's still a lot to be thankful for.
It was the culmination of a decades-long campaign by a prominent magazine editor named Sarah Josepha Hale. She lobbied Lincoln for the holiday.
Thanksgiving, in establishing it as a national holiday, certainly stands as one of his enduring accomplishments.
And in the 1940s, Congress issued Joint Resolution 41, forever making Thanksgiving a public holiday.
Mike Lowe reporting. The first Thanksgiving meal looked a lot different than what we see on our tables nowadays. Turkey was not a centerpiece at the first Thanksgiving, and the meat included seafood like, get this, lobster, clams, and oysters, certainly Northeast staples there. Cranberry sauce was not served at the first Thanksgiving. That's because sugar wasn't widely available. Other foods served at the first Thanksgiving include corn, porridge, hard biscuits, and root vegetables like carrots and onions. And some local cities are pushing back their trash pickup schedules due to the Thanksgiving holiday. In Lowell and Springdale, regularly scheduled pickups for Thursday's route will be picked up tomorrow, pushing Friday's regularly scheduled pickups to Saturday. And in Fayetteville, residential and commercial routes have been delayed for 1 day, meaning crews will pick up trash tomorrow. In Rogers and Bentonville, trash collection is being delayed by 1 day, meaning if your trash is picked up on Thursday, it will now be picked up on Friday. And in Siloam Springs, trash and recycling will run on Black Friday. And next week, you can drop off bagged trash at the sanitation office on East Ashley at no cost to you. Well, KNWA is your local election headquarters. The 2024 election has resulted in Republicans taking control of the White House, the House, and the Senate. So will bipartisan compromise be possible come next year? Well, KNWA's Hannah Brandt asked two lawmakers with a reputation for working across the aisle.
Democrat Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger is proud of her reputation for successfully working with Republicans.
I have found that there can be quite a lot of commonality issue to issue.
In January, Republicans will take over majorities in both chambers of Congress, and Spanberger is leaving her House seat, but she has advice for those left in the minority.
I hope that certainly my colleagues on the Democratic side of the aisle will find partners, if not in the White House, then in the halls of Congress.
And she says the key to that is building coalitions around shared issues.
Working with other members who have a lot of agriculture in their district, or focus on rural hospitals, or focus on infrastructure investments or broadband.
In the past few years, the Senate has had support from members of both parties to pass major bills on issues like infrastructure, guns, and computer chips.
I've got a lot of friends on the other side of the aisle that said, thank you for being bipartisan. I tell them all the same thing. I can't wait to see you do the same.
Senator Tom Tillis is among a handful of Republicans who voted with Democrats to pass major bills. He says with Democrats in the majority this Congress, he and other Republicans had to compromise to get things done. Next Congress, the roles will be reversed.
When we have a majority in the Senate and I'm trying to get something done, I'm going to see if they have the courage to take the heat back home for voting with Republicans on things that are going to help this country.
And he says he hopes to see that happen in areas like shoring up Social Security and reforming immigration immigration policy.
I'm equal opportunity. I'll spar with Republicans and Democrats when I think they stand in the way of good policy, and I'll work with all of them when they're willing to come together on good policy.
In Washington, Hannah Brandt, KNWA, Northwest Arkansas News.
And President-elect Donald Trump's administration has ties to the natural state. Former Governor Mike Huckabee has been nominated to serve as ambassador to Israel. The father of Susie Wiles, Trump's chief of staff pick, is former Arkansas Razorback and sportscaster Pat Summerall. And Trump has nominated UAMS graduate Dr. Jeanette Neshawat to serve as U.S. Surgeon General. And the 2024 election is not over yet for many voters in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Fayetteville's mayoral seat is still undecided after the general election. Incumbent Mayor Lionel Jordan earned 46.9% of the vote, and Molly Ron brought in 36.9%, as well as the other races that are heading to a runoff for mostly city council seats. There are races in Fayetteville, Siloam Springs, Lavaca, Pea Ridge, Rogers, Fort Smith, Centerton, and Bella Vista. Be sure to check out our full list of all these races over on our website and where you can go vote. Again, our website is knwa.com. If you know a woman who's making a difference, we all want to know about her. We're in search of a remarkable woman who's making a big impact in our community. We're now accepting nominations. The contest is ongoing at our parent company, Nexstar, in their news stations around the country. And the local winner here will win a $1,000 donation to a charity of her choice. She'll also be entered to win potentially in a contest with more than 100 local winners from across the country, and you can submit your nominations over on our website at knwa.com. The Salvation Army is making sure everyone in our community celebrates Thanksgiving. We'll show you how coming up in just a little bit later in the show. And Arkansas basketball making the 3.5-hour trip north to Kansas City to take on Illinois in the Thanksgiving Hoops Showcase. You'll hear from head coach John Calipari and our Picture on Nation team coming up after the break.
Cold weather is settling in, but as we head into December, there will be some changes coming in. I do think there should be a warming trend come late next week. I will tell you more about that. And will there be any rain with this pattern change? All that and more coming up in weather.
You're wow from the state's largest sports team. This is your Pig Trail Nation report.
Welcome into your Pig Trail Nation report. Alyssa Orange coming to you from inside T-Mobile Arena, where the Razorbacks falling today to the Illini 90-77. After this game, head coach John Calipari said when you get punched in the mouth like this, all you got to do is learn from it and move on. And one of the big things that this team needs to continue to learn to do is three-point shooting. Shooting the threes and defending the threes. It has been a problem all season long. For the Illini, 15 of 31 from behind the arc. Arkansas just 5 of 17. It was one of those things where anytime Arkansas seemed to get some momentum, get this game into single digits to try to cut into the Illini's lead, well, they would sit there and they would hit a three to get it back to double digits. Here's John Calipari after the game.
You have a mentality, you get hit in the head, you're playing to win, you settle down, you don't shoot threes. You go to the rim, you get fouled. I mean, we did some good stuff. But you can't give up 16 threes and expect to win a game. You can't. You're not going to. And I even said prior to the game, if a team that's willing to shoot 30, 35 threes, if they make 20, you're losing. And then there may be a game they make 5. Then they're losing.
Zvonimir Ivisic leading the way with 3 threes against Illinois. His twin brother, Tomislav Ivisic, though, 6 of 9 from the three-point line. Aduthiero leading all scorers for Arkansas with 26 points. Again, 90-77, the final. They now hit the road and get ready to face a Miami team in Coral Gables for the SEC-ACC Challenge on Tuesday. That game at 6 o'clock. All right, let's talk football because we now have the Battle Line rivalry on tap. Just a nice 2-hour drive from where we are right now over in Columbia, Missouri. And when you look at the 2 quarterbacks for these teams, and Talon Green and Brady Cook, Talon, this is his first taste of this Battle Line rivalry. He says he's really excited to get up to Como, a place that Arkansas has never won, and see if he can help the Razorbacks do so. As for Brady Cook, well, he's never lost as a starter in this game. Both guys excited to face off against each other.
I think it's a newer rivalry. And I think it's getting stronger every single year. It means more and more every single year. You know, there's a trophy on the line, first of all. We have a lot of guys on the team from Arkansas. Our head coach is an Arkansas guy.
Great opportunity, to play in a great venue, another, SEC, atmosphere, and that's exciting, with the weather and all that. And everybody says, it's football weather, so we're definitely excited for the opportunity.
It's the first time in a long time I feel like Arkansas is not playing on Black Friday, but here we are. It is a Saturday kickoff at 2:30 on the SEC network between Arkansas and Missouri. That is going to do it for your Big Trail Nation report.
Your Weather Authority forecast with meteorologist Zach Gilday. Certified most accurate by WeatherRate.
Been a chilly Thanksgiving. Check out today's highs. Fayetteville had a high of 44. That is well below average. So where we should be for this time of year, we should be in the mid 50s. So 44, 11 degrees shy of average. That record all the way back in 1949, that was 77. That morning low was cold, but I don't think it's going to compare to what we are going to be seeing tonight. Tonight will be quite frigid. Here is a Fayetteville view right now. It is currently 27, dew point 23, calm breeze, clear sky, pretty quiet weather as the high pressure system is now in control for us. For Smith, a little bit milder, but still pretty cold, 35 right now. Most areas are already below freezing. Clarksville 27, Harrison 29, so definitely cooling down quickly, and I think by daybreak tomorrow morning, most areas will be in the 20s. Some areas might even be in the upper teens, so definitely starting out cold on your Friday morning. During the afternoon, it's not going to warm up all that much with those highs only in the mid to upper 40s, so we'll stay pretty chilly going throughout the day. Even the River Valley, it's not going to warm up all that much. Tonight should be below freezing. Tomorrow, it's going to be seeing those highs in the lower 50s, so you're going to want to get the ice scraper ready if you have to be out first thing. You want to start that car up a little bit earlier to melt that ice, because we're going to be seeing dew points in the 20s with that temperature being in the 20s too. I think there will be some ice on that windshield, so I'll give it a 5 to 10 minutes extra tomorrow morning when you get ready to go out first thing. The high pressure area system that will give us that cold weather will be firmly in place for tomorrow and for the next couple of days. Still seeing some snow and rain off to our northeast. That is the system that impacted the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade earlier this morning, currently moving offshore. For us, again, quiet weather is being seen, clear skies across the whole state. And here's what's going to be happening over the next couple of days. It will stay quiet tomorrow, look sunny, and then tomorrow night, a few clouds start to work their way back in ahead of our next system. Now, this system will pass by to our north, but it will give Missouri some chances for some snow. So if you have plans heading up to Missouri to watch the Razorbacks take on those Tigers Saturday, you might want to leave a day earlier because there will be some snow in the area. It looks like Saturday morning should move out by Saturday evening. As far as snowfall totals, not a whole lot, maybe a couple inches, but that will be enough to impact traffic heading up to that game. And then beyond that, cool weather settles in with that northwesterly flow. A storm system will set up to our southwest as we head into late week next week, putting us back in southwest flow. That will give us some milder weather, but until then, it will stay pretty cold. Here's that 7 days showing the cold mornings coming up. We're going to be in the 20s and in the teens over the next couple of days heading into next week. Cold weather settles in. December 1st is on Sunday. And by late week, we should be back in the 50s, maybe even the 60s. So there is a warming trend, but it's going to be cold for a couple of days here. So definitely want to get the winter wardrobe out and get ready.
Remember when it was 70 degrees last Monday?
Yeah, it feels like so long ago because I was just outside, and I can assure you it is cold.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll need to bring out the big coat, things of that sort.
Yeah, I hope you have a heated steering wheel because that would be clutch. That's probably the worst part about the cold. Getting in the car first thing, your hands.
Yep, your hands,
and then
cold. Trying to turn on the heat, but it's all the cold air, so you have to brave the while you're trying to. So
that's why it takes about 5, maybe 10 minutes to warm that car up.
Yeah, and you don't want to be the one sitting in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
In the driver's seat, though, is this holiday season. We're gearing up to ring in Christmas, and we'll tell you all about some upcoming events coming here in the Northwest Arkansas and River Valley area when we come back.
Years. Happy Thanksgiving from KNWA. You're watching KNWA News at 10.
The Salvation Army is making sure some of our most vulnerable neighbors have a happy Thanksgiving with its annual community meal. Tonight, it served hot meals to anyone who needed it at both the Bentonville and Fayetteville shelters, and the Salvation Army says Thanksgiving is its favorite day of the year, feeding people and giving thanks. We talked with one volunteer who says even though preparing for the annual event is a lot of work, it's all worth it.
Just reminds me of the spirit of Thanksgiving, you know, and being able to smile at somebody and just provide a little bit of joy and some food in their stomach. I'm very excited to be a part of this. This was a lot of fun today. I'm really glad that I spent my time here today.
The Salvation Army says it expects to feed about 300 people this year. It says the annual meal wouldn't have been made possible without the generosity and donations from the community. And you can ring in the Christmas season at the upcoming Fort Smith Christmas Parade. It's scheduled for December 14th at 3 p.m. There will be festive floats, marching bands, and hey, the big man himself, Santa Claus, will be there as well. After the Fort Smith Parade, you can head on down to downtown Van Buren for its Christmas Parade at 6 p.m. And there's all types of holiday fun to be had in the River Valley, from Holiday Express train rides in Van Buren to the Fort Smith Cocoa Crawl this Saturday. You can find a full list of events happening in your community over on our website at KNWA.com. And every child deserves to unwrap a gift on Christmas morning, and here at KNWA, we're working to try and make that a reality through our magical Christmas toy drive. This is a live look at the toy vault inside our Rogers Bureau, and if you want to help us fill this vault even more than it's already filled, you can donate toys at one of our sponsor locations, and you can find that list on where you can take those toys over on our website at KNWA.com. And mark your calendars, Northwest Arkansas history will be on display next week as the 2024 Battle of Prairie Grove reenactment is scheduled for December 7th and 8th. On December 7th, 1862, more than 22,000 men from the north and south clashed on a ridge in Prairie Grove, resulting in 2,700 deaths. The two-day event is free and for all ages and will include several Civil War-themed programs and activities. You can find a link with more information over on our website, KNWA.com. And be sure to stick around. What a gorgeous view right there of the lights in the Bentonville Town Square. You're seeing a lot of festive looks out there in Bentonville, but in the meantime, though, be sure to stick around. It's meteorologist Zach Gilday. He'll be back on the other side of the break with maybe a little bit of a festive and cheery forecast. Stick with us.
Help us make Christmas magical for local children in need.
Well, not much time left, not enough time for that forecast, but if you could see it, it would make you feel cheery because it is going to be cooling down. Tonight, looking cold, but late next week, we should be warming up.
That's good. Have a great night, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to you.